Hello everyone. I'm Steve Risser, the host of Sports Talk with RKJ, and right now I am here for your preview of Week 12. And this is going to be an interesting week in the NFL. And we got a really good matchup to begin Week 12 as the 6-4 Colts battle the 6-4 Texans, a rematch of a wild card playoff game last year. I think this is going to be a really competitive game. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting game. And I think the biggest difference in this game is going to be the Colts not having Marlon Mack. That's going to be the biggest. That's going to be the biggest difference in this game. I feel like I think Deshaun Watson is going to make plays. Yes, I think the Colts are going to get pressure on Deshaun Watson because the Texans' offensive line is absolutely terrible. I think that Jacoby Brissett's going to make some plays, but I think Jacoby Brissett's going to be forced to be one-dimensional. That's going to be the difference in the game. And I got the Texans winning this game. I got the Texans winning it by a touchdown. I got Bill O'Brien and the Texans winning 27-20 over the Colts to go to first place in the AFC South. We have an NFC South matchup in New Orleans as the 5-5 Carolina Panthers visit the 8-2 New Orleans Saints. And in this game, I think that the Saints win. I think that the Saints win this game pretty handedly. I think that the Saints, they found an identity. They run the ball really well. I think they will have success doing it this week with Latavius Murray, with Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas, who right now arguably could be the best receiver in football, has another big week. Drew Brees gets the ball to him. And I think defensively, I think this team, because they're very good against the run, contains Christian McCaffrey, forces Kyle Allen to beat them, and that will absolutely not happen because Kyle Allen was absolutely terrible against the Falcons last week. I got the Saints winning this week in New Orleans 27-10 over the Panthers. We got a huge game in Philadelphia this week with major playoff implications as the 8-2 Seahawks head east to face the 5-5 Eagles. And I think this is a really close competitive game, but I think the difference in this game is going to be, one, the injuries the Eagles could have. They very easily won't have Lane Johnson. They might not have Jordan Howard. They might not have Alshon Jeffrey. I think the Eagles are banged up going into this game. I think they'll have success stopping the Seattle run game, but I think Russell Wilson throws for a couple touchdown passes. I think Carson Wentz makes some plays too against the Seattle secondary, but at the end of the game, in typical Carson Wentz fashion, I don't think he makes a play to win the game, just like last week when he missed Zach Ertz open twice. I think the Eagles lose to another good team at home for the second week in a row. I got Seattle beating the Eagles this week 28-24. We got two struggling teams down in Washington as the Lions travel down to DC to travel to DC to face the Redskins. And I think this is one of the games that the Redskins can win. I think this is one of the games the Redskins are going to win, and here's why. I think the Redskins are going to have success on the ground with Adrian Peterson and Darius Guy. I think both of them will have success on the ground. I think this will be Dwayne Haskins' best game he'll play as a pro because the Detroit Lion defense is absolutely terrible. There's a very good chance the Lions will be without Matthew Stafford again this week. I think Ryan Kerrigan and Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat, they're going to get pressure on Jeff Driscoll. I think Driscoll makes some plays, but I don't think the Lions will be able to run the ball, and I think the Redskins will be able to get pressure on them, and I think the run game is going to be the difference. The Redskins will definitely run the ball better than the Lions will, and I think the Redskins win a close one at home. I got the Redskins winning over the Lions 24-19. We got an AFC matchup in MetLife Stadium this week as the Raiders travel to MetLife Stadium to face the Jets. This is going to be a very interesting game. You got the Raiders traveling all the way to the East Coast to play in the Eastern time zone. So it's pretty much going to be like a 10 o'clock game for the Raiders. And I think I could very easily see an upset here. And I think they're going to pull an upset. I think that the Jets pull this upset. I think because of the way the Jets are able to stop the run. The one underrated thing about the Jets defense this year, and it's been a surprise too, the fact they lost Avery Williamson for the season, and the fact they've had C.J. Mosley pretty much out all year, but the Jets have been able to stop the run really well, and I think they forced Derek Carr to be one-dimensional. They contained Josh Jacobs, and I think on the flip side, I think the Jets, since Bilal Powell has gotten more carries, have ran the football better. I think him and Le'Veon Bell, the combination of the two, will do a decent job running the ball. I think Sam Darnold plays another good game, and I think he makes a little bit more plays than Derek Carr, and I think the Jets pull the upset. I got the Jets beating the Raiders 24-20 in MetLife Stadium on Sunday. We got a matchup of two struggling teams in Chicago as we got the Giants going there on a 6-game losing streak and we got the dysfunctional Chicago Bears going there, losing 5 of their last 6 games. And this is a tough one to pick. I've been going back and forth with this game, but I'm going to take the Giants in an upset here. I think Chicago is just completely dysfunctional with the Mitch Trubisky situation. I think their offense is absolutely terrible, and I think they're not even going to be able to score against the Giants defense. That's how bad they are. I think their offense is terrible, and I think Daniel Jones makes enough plays in the passing game to win a really, really low-scoring game, and I got the Giants beating the Bears 17-13 this week in Chicago. We got an AFC matchup in Buffalo between the Broncos and the Bills, and in this game, I think is another really close game. But I think the way the seasons have gone for both teams, I think the team that's won a lot of the close games this year, the Bills, pulls this one out, and a team that's lost a lot of the close games this year, the Broncos, loses this. And I think the big thing in this game is I think that Josh Allen will take a little bit more plays than Brendan Allen. I think Denver will have success running the ball. The Bills have trouble against the run. But at the end of the day, I think the Bills defense makes the big play to end up winning this game. And I think the Broncos have another close loss. They've had a ton of close losses this year. They're 3-7, lost a ton of close games. I think this continues this week. And the Bills go to 8-3 going into their Thanksgiving Day matchup against the Cowboys. I got the Bills beating the Broncos 20-16 this week in Buffalo. We got an AFC matchup in Cleveland between the Browns and the Dolphins, and I think this is going to be a game where the Browns are down because of what happened with Myles Garrett, which was completely disgraceful, and he should be suspended for the entire season and for portions of next season as well. And you got the Browns coming to this game at 4-6. They need to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. I think they have success on offense. I think that they have a lot of success in the running game. I think their offense definitely moves the ball against this Miami defense, but the problem is I think the Browns defense I think they have a bad game against. I think Miami's offense isn't good, but I think they're definitely going to miss Myles Garrett, especially getting pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick and Devontae Parker have a good game. The Browns are a 10.5-point favorite, but I got the Browns winning a really close game against the Dolphins. I got the Browns winning this game by a field goal. I got the Browns beating the Dolphins 27-24. We got an AFC North matchup in Cincinnati as the Steelers travel to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. And in this, the Bengals got to win sometime. And I don't know if Mason Rudolph is coming into this game 100%, seeing what happened, obviously, at the end of the game on last Thursday night. I don't know if Rudolph's coming in 100%. The Steelers might not have James Conner. I think, and obviously the Bengals and Steelers, the Bengals are a terrible team, but the Steelers are the Bengals' biggest rival. It's pretty much their Super Bowl. They're going to be pumped to play this game. And I think that this is the Bengals get their first win. I think this is a close, competitive game. I think that the Steelers, without James Conner, are going to struggle to run the ball. I think Mason Rudolph's going to struggle in this game because he was terrible on last Thursday night. And I think that Joe Mixon has some success on the ground. Ryan Finley's going to be able to do enough for the Bengals to win a low-scoring game by a field goal. I got the Bengals upsetting the Steelers 20-17 this week in Cincinnati. We got another NFC South matchup in Atlanta as the Falcons, who've won 2 in a row, coming off a huge win last week over the Falcons. The Panthers. So I think the Falcons come in winning 2 in a row. They face the Bucks, and the Bucks have struggled, especially defensively this year. Their offensive line has struggled, and I think that the Falcons continue their winning ways this week. I think that their defense with Vic Beasley, with Grady Jarrett and Adrian Claiborne get pressure on Jameis Winston because the Bucs offensive line is not good. And I think Matt Ryan really has another good game this week. Gets the ball to Calvin Ridley, gets the ball to Julio Jones. And I think the Falcons extend their winning streak to 3 games. And I think they beat the Bucs 31-17 in Atlanta this week. We go to the 4 o'clock games, and we go to the big game in Foxborough as the Patriots face the Cowboys head to New England to face the Patriots. And I think this is the game where all the Dak MVP talk is going to stop. Yes, Dak has improved this year, but he is not an MVP candidate. His team is 6-4, has lost 4 games. He's thrown 9 interceptions. Yes, he's a top 10 quarterback, but he's not a top 5 quarterback. And that's going to get proved this week by this New England defense. I think they're going to, obviously, Bill Belichick always takes away the one thing you do best, and the Cowboys run the ball best with Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's going to be able to contain the running game. And I think Dak Prescott's going to make some plays, but he's also going to make some mistakes. And I think Brady is going to have a pretty good game against this Cowboys defense. I think that he's going to be Edelman will have a good game. I think Sanu has a good game. I think Brady has a pretty good game against the defense. I think getting Isaiah Wynn back is going to be big for the Patriots. I think that's going to limit the production of DeMarcus Lawrence in this game, and I think the Patriots will be able to move the ball better than they did last week in Philadelphia. And I got the Patriots winning this game. I got the Patriots beating the Cowboys because Jason Garrett and the Cowboys never beat these kind of teams. They never beat great teams. That's going to continue on Sunday. I got the Patriots 27-17 over the Cowboys. We got an AFC South matchup in Tennessee as the 4-6 Jaguars travel to Tennessee to face the 5-5 Titans. And you remember last year when these two teams played, Derrick Henry had a huge game on the ground. I think that's more of the same this year. I think Derrick Henry has a big game on the ground. I think Jacksonville gets pressure on Tannehill, but I think Tennessee scores enough more points than Jacksonville does. I think Nick Foles will struggle a little bit in this game. I think Fournette will get his yards, but I think Foles will struggle in this game. Tennessee's defense is decent. I think Foles struggles. I think that they kick field goals instead of touchdowns. I think this is a close, competitive AFC South game, but I got the Titans because they'll be able to run the ball better than Jacksonville, winning this game over the Jaguars on Sunday. We got the big Sunday night game in San Francisco as the Packers travel to San Francisco to face the 49ers. And I think the difference in this game is all the injuries the 49ers have going into the game. They might not have George Kittle. They're not going to have Dee Ford, which is going to hurt their pass rush in the game. And they're not going to have Joe Staley either, so I think Green Bay is going to have an easier time getting pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's definitely going to make a difference in this game. I think the lack of a pass rush is going to be a result of Aaron Rodgers having a big game, putting up 30 points against this San Francisco defense. I think Rodgers has a big game against them. And I think San Francisco moves the ball. I think they run the ball. I don't care if Matt Breida is out. I think any Kyle Shanahan offense has success running the ball. Green Bay's had trouble stopping the run all year. I think they move the ball, but the difference in the game is going to be Green Bay is going to get pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo because of having Joe Staley out, and Aaron Rodgers is going to have more time to throw because Dee Ford is out, which is going to limit Nick Bosa's production. And I got the Packers winning this game. I got the Packers winning this game on the road in the upset, 31-23 over the 49ers. We'll wrap up the show talking about the Monday night game. It's a very, very interesting game as the Baltimore Ravens travel to Los Angeles to face the Rams. And the problem with the Rams this year is their defense is definitely better than it was last year. Getting Jalen Ramsey, their defense has played better this year. They've stopped the run better. Their defense has played better. The issue with the Rams, though, is their offense. Their offensive line hasn't played well. They've struggled to run the football. Then that's resulted in Jared Goff not being as good. And on the flip side, I think Baltimore, you don't just completely shut down Baltimore's running game. You contain it with Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards, and Mark Ingram. I think the Rams will contain it, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think Baltimore will still score, I think, around 24 to 27 points. And then on defense, I think the biggest thing is this Ravens no-name defense gets pressure on Jared Goff. I think Goff moves the ball a little bit, but I don't think they score enough points. And I got the Ravens winning this game on Monday night in LA. I got them winning 27-19 over the Rams. That's going to wrap it up for our Week 12 preview. I'm going to be dropping all these videos today. Our regular show at 9 o'clock, Sports Talk with RKJ, our college football rankings reaction show, which we did before this, and I'll be dropping this show right after that. So I'll probably drop the regular show at 5 o'clock, this show at around probably 1 or 2 o'clock, and the college football rankings reaction show right after this show at around 12:30. So I want to thank everybody for listening, and we hope everyone has a great weekend and enjoys week 12 of the NFL season.